The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, beneath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my body. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of my mind. I go where the wind blows. I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright guys, I seem to have lost my co-host, so yeah, if he turns up, obviously he can jump in. So like, if you're listening, if you're watching, if you're whatever, you can turn up if you want to turn up, if you feel like turning up, whatever it may be. Hit that join button. Apart from that, I can't wait any longer, so I'm just going to kick it off, and if he joins, he joins. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So obviously, of course, I wasn't playing Halion or anything too, which might have Alrighty then. So, how is everybody? Everybody good? Everybody fantastic? Let's post this everywhere. Let's spam our link. And hopefully people will join. Hello, Greg. How are you, buddy? Alright. Okay. Alright, we're ready to kick this puppy, so to speak. No, YouTube, we're not actually encouraging anybody kicking puppies, don't worry. Can't say anything these days without them getting offended. Alright. Let's go through. Let's kick this show off with a bang and, yeah, go from there. Alright, so first thing, we'll start with some good news, some happy news. We'll start with some news that's not necessarily, disconcerting or, terrible. And obviously if I turn around my webcam, that obviously would help, because that way the little ferret would actually move his mouth. But yeah. Fully prepared stream, guys. Fully prepared. There we go. Let's kick this puppy off. So, first thing, people are cleaning up beaches and parks as the hashtag Trash Tag Challenge goes viral. So there have been some strange social media challenges in the past few years. First of all, people started lying face down on as many things as they possibly could. Then there was the Bird Box Challenge. Now let's not forget the the fun internet craze, which encouraged participants to glaze ridiculous amounts of booze. Each of these viral trends made absolutely no sense, so it's nice to see something positive for a change. Even if it does highlight the fact that people unfortunately can't pick up their own shit. The Trash Challenge, or hashtag Trash Tag, is seeing people from all over the world cleaning up beaches, parks, and litter streets before calling on others to clean up their own communities. So the concept of hashtag Trash Tag has been around for years, but it was over the weekend that it started picking up momentum again, with people posting it before and after pictures to social media. The dramatic cleanup operation included wooded areas covered in plastic trash, which has been picked up and collected into bins. The craze called on bored teens to go and get involved. As a word began to spread, so did the Trash Tag Challenge. Kind of makes a bit of a difference too, doesn't it? Many people also included the explanation as to why cleaning up the area of the natural scapes is so critical. Taking to Instagram, Cody Hansen explained, "It's the only outdoors we have. We used to do it many different things, but the only thing we have, so let's do our part and respect." Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's pick up after ourselves and then pick up extra. It only takes a few minutes of your time to pick up something that are far outside us humans are left alone. So at the end of the day, I kind of like this. I kind of like the fact that people are going through and cleaning up. I do get a little bit worried that the social justice warriors and whatnot will jump on it. And, oh, dude, it's been there for a few days. But yeah, I'll talk to you about it in a second. But yeah, it's good that people are going through, cleaning up the streets, cleaning up the beaches and parks and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's yeah, it's a good thing to see. I kind of like it, and yeah, it's kind of a good thing. So yeah. As for the wrench, dude, I made you a mod because you're always in here, so I thought I'll give you a mod. See, I'm just a caring, carefree sort of guy. I gave you mods about 4 days ago. Alright, let's jump on to the next thing. Now, the Jaguar who attacked a woman taking a selfie won't be put down. Good news, everyone. The Jaguar who attacked a woman taking a selfie while live. The woman reportedly crossed over the barrier near the Jaguar in the Wildlife Zoo in Arizona on Saturday to take a photo with the cat when someone reached out. Take a photo with the cat when one reached out and slashed her arm. Paramedics took to her nearby hospital and treated a non-life-threatening injuries, according to the statement from the zoo. Please understand why barriers are put in place. The zoo tweeted, "Sending prayers and families to the family tonight." The stupid girl shouldn't have crossed the fence, should we? In the comments of the Fox 10 Phoenix video that showed the aftermath of the incident, content warning for some gruesome images, Twitter users slammed the woman and threatened to boycott the zoo if they put the Jaguar down. But the Wildlife World Zoo assured its followers the Jaguar won't be euthanized. Others thanked the zoo for protecting the Jaguar, who was trying to defend her territory. According to AZ Central, the local sheriff has not yet said whether the woman would be charged or cited for crossing the boundaries. To be honest, I kind of think she's a bit stupid to do that. A bit stupid to go through and to try and take a photo with a jaguar, with a wild animal, while literally, you know, it's like in the enclosure. Like, what the hell was she thinking? Like, this is absolutely just completely stupid. And I'm kind of glad they're not putting the Jaguar down, because at the end of the day, you know, it really didn't do anything. So, yeah, good on them, I suppose. All right. So let's keep moving on. Brexit. Legally binding changes to EU deal agreed. Oh, goody. How is the EU going to butt rape you now? Theresa May says she has secured a legally binding changes to her Brexit deal ahead of the days of the MP voting on it. But European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker warned that if the deal was voted down, there was no third chance. They spoke to a joint press conference in Strasbourg after the late meeting. The Cabinet Office Minister David Linton announced the changes to the Commons shortly before, saying they would mean the EU could not try and trap the UK in an Irish backstop infinity. But Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn said the Prime Minister's negotiations had failed and that the announcement did not contain anything approaching the changes she had promised Parliament. Ms May confirms that she would be opening the debate on Tuesday ahead of the so-called meaningful vote on her deal, which must be agreed by Parliament to come into force. Last time it was put to Parliament in January, she suffered a historic loss as it was voted down by the margin of 230. The PM also said her Attorney General, Geoffrey Cox, would publish his legal advice on the changes of the deal before the vote. Miss May flew out of the European Parliament late on Monday with her Brexit Secretary Steve Buckley for last-ditch talks ahead of the vote. In the discussion with Mr. Zucker, the EU chief Brexit negotiator Michael Barriner, who two documents were gathered by all parties, while Mr. Langdon said he would strengthen and improve both the withdrawal agreement from the EU and the political declaration of the future relationship. The first is a joint legally binding instrument on the withdrawal agreement. Ms. May said it could be used to start a formal discipline against the EU if it tried to keep the UK into a backstop, the safety net designed to maintain an open border on the island of Ireland indefinitely. The backstop has been criticised by some who believe it would keep the UK tied to the indefinitely, but the bloc has said if it uses it, it will apply temporarily. Ugh, yeah, right. Oh boy, look at that. The EU's lying for us again. The second is a joint statement adding to the political declaration that the statement in the deal about the UK and the EU's future relationship to commit to replacing the backstop with an alternative arrangements by December 2020. Another document put forward by the government known as a unilateral declaration. The PM said it would outline the UK's position that there was nothing to prevent if leaving the backstop agreement if discussions on the future relationship with the EU broke down and there's no prospect on an agreement. Ms. May said the MPs were clear that legal changes were needed to the backstop today, that we have secured legal changes. Now it's time to come together to back this improved Brexit deal and deliver on the instruction of the British people. But Labour leader Mr. Corbyn urges MPs to vote against the deal when it returns to the Commons on Tuesday. Since her Brexit deal was overwhelmingly rejected, the Prime Minister has recklessly ran down the clock, failed to effectively negotiate with the EU, and refused to find common ground for the deal Parliament could support, he added. That's why MPs must reject this deal tomorrow. This Brexit thing is just a huge, great big disaster, isn't it? Look, it's an absolute clusterfuck. It really, really is. Look, at the end of the day, I don't know, get Sargon or Nigel Farage or something, or whatever his name is, to go in there and do this. She obviously can't do it. She's obviously useless when it comes to negotiating. No wonder women go on about the wage gap. You know, the biggest problem with that is normally the fact they can't negotiate. So what did the UK do? Shoved a woman to go negotiate. Because, you know, this one's going to be different. But anyway. I think it's a great idea for people to clean up trash, Greg says. Oh, I couldn't agree with you better. Finally, the power is mine. I added the part. That's like people sneaking into SeaWorld and trying to swim with the killer whales. Yeah, well, they're stupid and they deserve to be eaten. You know, at the end of the day, you can't go through and baby-proof the world to stop people being stupid. People are going to be stupid, they deserve to be eaten. I'm sorry, I'm over people today, I really am. Alright, let's keep going. Trump gets slammed for signing Bibles for tornado survivors, even though it's an old tradition. Because, you know, it's the Bible. So a Southern historian described President Trump signing Bibles during his visit to Toronto, Alabama, as right next to sacrilege. You're a fucking moron. I'd never sign someone else's Bible. Warren Flint, the Auburn University professor emeritus, told AL.com. That's right next to sacrilege as a holy book. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude, get a frigging break, will ya? Joe Biden's former chief of staff, Ron Klain, also criticised the president. Who cares what Joe Biden's former chief of staff said? He's a Democrat. Of course the Democrats are going to criticise Trump for saying it. Sign Bibles with the same hand he uses as president to sign hush money checks for adult film stars, Klain said. Meanwhile, all forgetting the time that, you know, Bill Clinton was banging an intern. But geez, let's not mention that one, hey? Politicos on Twitter, likewise reacted with a fury after seeing the victims of devastating tornadoes that had touched down Alabama last week, asked President Trump to sign the Bible, and he obliged. It's like they actually wanted him to do it. Oh my God, the horror. Donald Trump is signing Bibles. Peter Doe, the former advisor to Hillary Clinton, yet another Democrat, and John Kerry, also yet another Democrat, wrote on Twitter, "The man whose vicious and inhuman border policies violates the fundamental teachings of Jesus is signing Bibles. Meanwhile, the whole time, Obama did it, and no one complained." So, you know, irony. Yet the president has a long history of signing Bibles, including Barack Obama. Oh my fucking God! Who's surprised that Barack Obama also signed Bibles? And what's the bet? These people didn't give two shits back then. Former President George Bush and Ronald Reagan also signed Bibles. Fucking imagine my surprise. In 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed a Bible that he used for his first inauguration. In 1986, President Ronald Reagan signed Bibles he sent secretly to Iranian officials. Presidents seem to sign a lot of random things put in front of them. Mr. Peter Mezowit, the Semestarian Culture for Religion, told the Washington Post. Trump advised Alabama on Friday to survey the devastation and pay respects to the tornado victims. The tornado carved a path of destruction nearly a mile wide, killing 23 people, including 4 children and a couple in their 80s, with 10 victims belonging to a single extended family. At the Providence Baptist Church in Smith Stations, the Reverend Rusky Sully said the president's visit was uplifting and will help bring to the community that needed a long time to recover. Before leaving the church, Trump posted for a photograph with a 5th grade volunteer and signed the child's Bible, said Ada Ingram. The local volunteer, the president, also signed her sister's Bible, and Ingram said, the photos from the visit, Trump is shown signing the cover of a Bible. He was heavily criticised for it. Who gives a flying shit? People don't understand the purpose of Trump signing Bibles, said one person. Many people who are without a way to prepare food and after a disaster, when Trump signs a Bible, it bursts into flames and people can cook over it. Oh my God, you're funny. Is this a joke from the left? Yep, Bill. Yep, it's a leftist. But not everyone slammed Trump for it. Of course not. Who gives two shits what he signs? Bill Leonard, the founding dean of the Professor of Divinity, emerges in the Wakefield Forest University of School of Divinity in Winston-Salem, New Caledonia. NC, what's NC? Is important to remember that signing Bibles is an old tradition, particularly in southern churches. It would have also been worse if he had said no, because it would have seemed unkind, and this at least one way he could show his concern along with his visit. In his sitting where tragedy has occurred, where he comes for his brief visit, we need to have some grace about those for those folk. Trump should have at least signed an inside and a less obviously way, said the Reverend D. Cassidy Maloney. This feels like hubris, said Cassidy Maloney, professor at the First Congressional United Church of Christ in Fargo, North Dakota. It almost feels like a desecration of the Holy Book to put his signature on the front while large literally. Who cares? Who gives two flying shits Trump is signing a Bible? Okay? At the end of the day, good on him. Good on him for doing it. Someone said, Eric says in church, my Bible was signed by my church's CH. I don't know what church's CH is, but yeah. Dude, people sign Bibles all the time. You know, and at the end of the day, if you're religious, right? If you are spiritual, the one thing that you want is your Bible, right? You want it close to you and etc, etc, etc. It is one thing that is sacred. And to actually get the president to sign it, I imagine would be kind of cool. Would be kind of, oh my God, Trump has literally signed my Bible. That to me sounds like it's a really cool thing. I'm not even that religious, and I would love for him to sign a Bible for me. So, you know, at the end of the day, this is just, and like they said in the article, Obama did it. Reagan has done it. Future presidents have done it. But they wouldn't have given two shits when Obama did it, probably. But anyway. Look, to me, I think good on him for doing it. Obviously, people have come up, they've asked him to sign it, so he's signed it for him, okay? It's not a big thing. If you're going to get outraged, potentially outraged over everything that Trump does, you're going to end up looking like a frigging Fruit Loop. Well, sorry, you're going to look like more of a Fruit Loop than you already do. And this is what the left need to realise, that if you want to try and take on Trump, which obviously I don't care if they do or don't, I'd rather them don't, but if you're going to try and take on Trump, at the very least, you pick your battles. You don't go going on about everything that he does, because that just makes you look like a frigging moron. So, you know, but anyway. Let's go through some of these things. I really hope they don't have a second vote on Brexit. What a joke. Yeah, tell me about it, man. It's a freaking joke, alright. Same with Bill Clinton passed a tissue to an intern with... my Bible was signed by the church. Church's pastor as a graduation gift from college. Yeah. Yeah. I know my pastor from when I went to school, he would sign Bibles and that too. Like... It's not a big thing. It's really not. And them getting outraged over it is just absolutely ridiculous. It really, really is. But anyway. Alright. Authorities make largest cocaine seizure at New York area port in 25 years. Authorities have seized the biggest amount of cocaine recovered at the ports of New York and New Jersey in almost 25 years. The massive bust, February the 28th, at the port of New York and New in Elizabeth, came after authorities checked a shipping container entering the country. They found 60 packages containing 3,200 pounds of white powder substance that proved to be cocaine. Customs and Border Protection said in a statement on Monday. That is a lot of drugs. Look at it all. Holy shit. That is a lot of cocaine. The seizure, which has an estimated value of $77 million. Holy shit, I'm in the wrong business. The biggest cocaine bust at the port since 1994, where about 6,600 pounds were seized, according to CBP spokesman. The container was removed from the ship that originated from South America, the spokesman said. Customs officials turned the drugs over to federal home security officials for investigation. I'm sure they're going to investigate it. What do you need to investigate for drugs? Like, seriously, it's cocaine. What exactly do you need to know? Good on them for doing it. Obviously great. It's, you know, it's a lot of drugs that won't be getting into the streets, which is obviously a great thing. So yeah, kind of like this. Kind of, yeah. Feels good, man. Feels good. Nancy Pelosi opposes impeaching Trump as it's too divisive. It was just not worth it. Oh my God, look at that. Nancy Pelosi is doing a backflip. Who would have thought? probably realised that she can't impeach him on anything. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was quoted Monday saying that it's just not in favour of impeaching President Donald Trump, breaking from other Democrats who are eager to exercise their constitutional power to oust the president from office. In an exclusive interview with the Washington Post, Joe Hem, Pelosi said Trump is just not worth it. So I'm not for impeaching. President said this is news. I'm going to give you some news right now because I haven't said this to any press person before. To date, Pelosi has demeaned on the matter, telling reporters that impeachment and even an indictment were open questions, saying she'd like to learn the results of the special counsel Robert Mueller report before deciding on a course of action. And right now, all the left are like, no! Because they wanted it so badly. While Pelosi is stating her personal preference, she left some wiggle room to launch impeachment proceedings if the report reveals something so compelling and overwhelming and bipartisan. In other words, the report don't have shit, and she's already seen it. Because otherwise, she wouldn't be walking this back. Impeachment is so divisive to the country that unless there's someone so compelling and overwhelmingly bipartisan, I don't think we should go down that path because it divides the country, Pelosi said, and he's just not worth it. A Pelosi spokesman told ABC News that her office is not commenting any further. There might be the latest talking point for Pelosi regarding Trump's impeachment prospects, but there's a genuine realization in the House Democrat caucus that impeachment would be a waste of time with a Republican-controlled Senate serving to firewall and protect the president from conviction. In other words, that's the thing. They lost the Senate. They were hoping to get back the Senate. They didn't. So at the end of the day, they're screwed and they can't impeach him. That's what it was all about. Them winning the Senate. And they lost. They actually lost ground. But anyway. This might be the latest talking points for Pelosi regarding Trump's impeachment. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I read that. Instead, House Democrats are likely to maintain their pursuit of the president through investigations, hoping to discredit him so much that he's unelectable in 2020. Remember that quote. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to go through and discredit the president. And the news will obviously help with that any way it can. So, yeah. Nancy Pelosi, impeachment for Trump, it's just not worth it. Which we've already basically said. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's doesn't look like they're going to try and impeach him anymore. Personally, I reckon it's just because of the fact of the Senate. They know that. They know they don't control it. They know they can't do it. And they're basically just pulling the pin on it. And they're just going to try and run his name through the mud between now and 2020 so that they can get through and try and win the election. If that doesn't work, they'll just bring in a whole bunch of illegal immigrants. Chute calls for laws to control men's bodies. Oh boy. Can you imagine if this was reversed? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if this was reversed? Can you imagine what would happen if guys tried to do this? My body, my choice! Right? But apparently, it's okay now for laws to control men's bodies. Right? Someone just slapped the left, figuratively. Slapped the left until they realise how hypocritical they are. My body, my choice. Men's. Oh no, we're gonna put rules on men because they don't have their body or their choice. It's just women. Women are my body, my choice. Right? That's how it works. So it must be circumcised and show papers or penis. So that they can then claim Me Too later when you flop your dick out, so to speak. Left-wing pop icon Cher suggested in recent social media posts that women create laws over men's bodies, like banning the use of Viagra and giving a death penalty for those men who use massage parlors. My body, my choice. Republicans believe they've got a God-given right to dictate what we do with our bodies, Cher exclaims. So we're going to show them by claiming the exact same thing, because we're better than them, right? Women must make laws to control men's bodies. No Viagra, Rogan testosterone. All men must be circumcised and show papers or penis to prove it. Massage parlors published by Death. Men must take the pill. Why? Women don't have to take the pill. Women choose to take the pill, or they take it because their boyfriend wants to take the pill. But I know a lot of women who don't actually take it, and I reckon one of the main reasons that my last relationship failed was because of the pill. So yeah, I'm actually thinking that at the end of the day the pill is actually a bad thing. But anyway, Cher has been on a roll with a deranged social media post recently. She suggested earlier this month that President Trump supporters of child molesters and wife beaters. Why is Trump always PR man for villains? The 70-year-old asks. Why does he know the kiss ash of a dictator? Child molesters, murders, wife beaters, anti-Semites, white supremacists, haters of any skin, not literally white. Yet the Democratic Party is being called anti-Semitic, so work that one out. During an event for International Women's Day that I found someone, singer lauded Nancy Pelosi for her work as a fighting against old white women. Jesus Christ, I tell you what, for 70-something, Cher, you've had a lot of work done to your face, darling. Since the day of our foundation fathers signing the Declaration of Independence, our country has been ran almost exclusively by old white men, she said. Thankfully, because Nancy Pelosi and other strong women, this is changing. So at the end of the day, it's a choice, right? That if it's changing now because of strong women, what, you didn't have strong women to do it in the first place? Is that the argument? Or, look, at the end of the day, obviously, I think she's a little bit deranged. Maybe give her a mental straitjacket. Maybe give her a psych evaluation. She's obviously being a little bit nutty. She's obviously flying over the cuckoo's nest. I don't know, maybe there's too much Botox. It's gone from her face into her brain or something. I don't know. At the end of the day, yeah, I think she's batshit crazy. Like, literally encouraging the death penalty for guys to use massage parlors. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. And the women that go and use glory holes, can we use the death penalty for them as well? Is that what you want to do? De Blasio announces meatless Mondays to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Oh my God, they're still going on about this meat. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio announced Monday that all New York City schools will have Meatless Monday beginning in 2019 to 2020 school year. The program first piloted in spring of 2018 for 15 Brooklyn students. Will offer students all vegetarian breakfasts and lunch menus every month. So bring your own food, because otherwise you're going to eat like a friggin' rabbit. Cutting back on meat a little will improve New York's health and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, said Bill de Blasio as a statement. We're expanding Meatless Monday to all public schools to keep our lunch and planet green for generations to come. If the cow farting makes this sort of gas that obviously, methane gas that kills the atmosphere, isn't killing the cow a good thing? Just saying. Students Councillor Richard A. concurred, saying meatless Mondays are good for our students, communities and environments. Our 1.1 million students are taking the next step towards healthier, more sustainable lives, he added. Our students and educators are truly leaders in this movement and I salute them. Yep, they're literally forcing kids to be vegetarians now. The move to vegetarian-based diet once a week for New York City public school children comes on the heels of Democrats in Washington pushing veganism in general in their Green Deal plan. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, or as I like to call them, you know, something else, applauded the inclusion of the vegan measures in the G&D initiative, but it's now calling on the G&D supporters to embrace the vegan lifestyle themselves and make dismantling the meat and egg and dairy industry a top priority. Oh my God, look at that. Who would have thought? They're not surprised. They're not happy with what you've done. You bend the knee and all of a sudden they want you to bend the other one. Big surprise. Look, at the end of the day, obviously the reason why I'm mostly against this is because you're forcing people to become something that they're not necessarily wanting to. And at the end of the day, the fact is that what's this going to do to children? It's going to lower iron levels? They're not eating meat on this particular day. Yeah, sure, it's only one day a week, right? Developing bodies might need that meat, might need that protein. And what are you going to do? Force them to eat freaking apples? Gee, I tell you what, I hope they don't have any tests on the Monday or the Tuesday. And I wonder how many kids are going to start bringing their own lunches after you go through and force them to start eating, obviously, veganism and stuff like that. So, yeah. Personally, I think it's a lot of crap. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. I think they're batshit crazy. And I'll tell you what, if this is my kid, I'd be protesting, or at the end of the day, making him bring his own lunch. And at the end of the day, kids should be bringing their own lunch anyway. So, yeah. CNN, Jim Acosta argues with Sarah Sanders over Trump claiming Democrats hate Jewish people. Because supposedly they do now. CNN White House correspondent Jim Acosta debated Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders on whether or not Democrats hate Jewish people during the White House press briefing Monday afternoon. Acosta's questions came as follow-up to the ABC News' Jonathan Karl, who inquired about the report that President Trump made the claim about the Democrats in a speech Friday to donors at Mar-a-Lago. Quote, just to get back to Karl and his question about the president's comments about the Democrats and Jewish people, isn't that kind of rhetoric just sort of beneath everybody? Well, you claim everybody's anti-Semitic, so, you know, not really. Acosta asked, do you think the president has thought at all going into 2020 campaign that his rhetoric just needs to be lowered, says the guy who's literally claiming Trump is Hitler, whether it's taking about the Democrats or the media, immigrants, or should we just plan on hearing the president use the same kind of language that we heard in 2016 and although the first couple of years of his administration, yeah, same language. Trump, keep doing what you're doing. Your base loves you for it. So just keep doing what you're doing. Ignore them. Look at those, real shame of all those Democrats are perfectly capable of coming together to arguing on the fact that they're comfortable of ripping babies straight from the mother's womb or killing a baby after birth, but they have a hard time condemning the type of comments from Congresswoman Aha. I think that's a great shame. The president has been clear on what his position is. Clearly, he is support for the people and the community of Israel. Yeah, he's a Zionist. You're saying that's something that is just totally untrue, Acosta. And Democrats don't hate Jewish people. That's just silly. It's not true. Show him Omar's statements. And, yeah. Look, Satellite and I had this debate earlier today, or yesterday, actually late yesterday. My argument is, his argument is that she's criticising She's criticizing lobbying, right? At the end of the day, it's not a bad thing, right? We should criticize lobbying. And he's right. Yes, you should criticize lobbying. That is completely. But my argument is that if you have someone who has a bad history with a race or religion, like the Jews and the Muslims do, and all of a sudden the Muslims, for example, are calling out the lobbying from just one certain group, then that to me is where you come off as racist. If Omar had gone on about lobbying from everybody, including Palestine, then there wouldn't have been a problem. If she tried to shut down just lobbying, then that would have been okay. But no, she didn't. She only went after lobbying from Israel. She only went after a certain group. And that is why she's coming off as anti-Semitic. So, yeah. That's my point on them. And at the end of the day, to be honest, I kind of think it's funny that Democrats are being listed as anti-Semitic because they're going on about, you know, the right being Nazis, and they're closer to it than anybody. Yeah. Sanders responded, I think they should call out their members by name, and we've made that clear. Acosta proceeded to bring up the KKK incident at Charlottesville, Virginia in August of 2017. Trump's comments during the speech in question were made in response to Democrat Minnesota Congresswoman Omar. She questioned some members of Congress who have dual loyalty to the US and Israel last week, just one of many instances that have been led to calling her anti-Semitic, and there's been many instances, by the way. Those comments sparked condemnation across both sides of the political aisle for the most part, and inspired a diverse House resolution condemning all types of hate and bigotry. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I kind of find it funny that Democrats are being listed as anti-Semitic when they go on about, like, oh, it's Charlottesville, look, it's the KKK. Yeah, look at your own party. Pelosi is worried about dividing the country. Are you serious, Greg? Apparently she is. Who would have thought? She's senile, for sure. I'm guessing you're talking about that for Eric. Yeah, totally agree. I think Cher is senile. Sorry, she's senile. Yeah, totally agree, man. I think Cher has gone senile. For crying out loud, enough with the greenhouse talker from these people. Yeah, yeah. Great. What do they call them? Limousine activists. You know, driving around their limousines, drinking champagne, going on about what us other people shouldn't be doing. Yay. Well, I do have an issue with factory farming, so encouraging eating some vegan once in a while is a good thing. Yeah, but Greg, there's a difference between factory farming and farming. Like, if you want to just go on about factory farming, then yeah, let's have that debate. But at the end of the day, you know, look, if that's the case, just make it so that the factory farms don't sell their product. To be honest, there's not a lot of factory farming that I know of. That mostly happens over in the European countries. Over in America or in Australia and that sort of stuff, it's not as widespread as people like to think it is. Just don't make them eat soy. Yeah, well, that's next on the menu, don't you? You know that's what they're going to be eating. They're going to be eating soy because of the protein. So, yeah. It's just trying to get kids into veganism. That's all it is. It's trying to brainwash. It's trying to go through, and it's trying to cause people to become vegans. And it's indoctrination at a school level. You know, the kids start eating veganism once a week. All of a sudden, they want to do it every now and then. You know, you get people that are impressionable, young, like people at school. You can convince them to do anything. So, yeah. Not surprised they're trying to do it. But anyway. Fox News strongly condemns Janine Prosper's remarks about Ilhan Omar's jihad. Oh, what'd she say? Fox News Channel on Sunday condemned host Ginny Pryor's remarks on Representative Ilhan Omar used jihad and said that the issue has been dealt with directly. Perdue is under fire after appearing to suggest on a Saturday program Justice with Judge Janine, that Omar, who repeatedly anti-Semitic remarks prompted the House to pass an anti-hate resolution last week, wears a hijab in defiance of the Constitution. Think about this. She's not getting this anti-Israel sentiment indoctrination from the Democratic Party, so if it's not rooted in the party, where is she getting it from? Pelosi said in her opening statement. I think about it. Omar wears a hijab according to the Quran 33:59. Tell women to cover so they won't get molested. Is her adherence to this Islamic doctrination indicative of her adherence to Sharia law, while in itself authentic to antithetical to the United States Constitution? In a statement Sunday, Fox News denounced Pompeo remarks, saying that we strongly condemn Junie Pompeo's comments about Representative Omar. Why? They're probably true. They do not reflect those of the network, and we have addressed the matter with her directly. Thought crimes, in other words. The network also released a statement from Pompeo, who said her intent was not just Muslims could not be loyal to the United States. Well, she didn't really say that, did she? Oh, I suppose, sort of. Yeah. I think it's more a case that she was saying that at the end of the day, she's a Muslim and that is why she's anti-Semitic. I've seen a lot of comments about my opening statements from Saturday Night Show, and I did not call Omar an American. My intention was to ask questions and start a debate, but of course, because one is does not mean you don't support the Constitution, Power said. I invite Representative Omar to come on my show anytime to discuss all the important issues facing America today. A Fox News Online producer, Hafel Kamal, criticized Pompeo's remarks on social media, writing, at Judge Janine, can you stop spreading this false narrative that somehow hate America or women who wear a hijab aren't American enough? Do you have Muslims working at the same network to you, including myself? Kay, thanks. At the end of the day, was the comments a little off touch? Sure, maybe, especially for prime time. But at the end, I don't know. But I took her statement, what I just read out, as more of a fact that she's saying because she is Muslim, that is why she's having these anti-Semitic thoughts or these anti-Semitic tendencies. That's the way I took it. And to be honest, I kind of agree with her. But, you know. WAPO interview with Pelosi didn't touch anti-Semitics for go. The Washington Post magazine recently neglected to ask House Speaker Nancy Pelosi about either the accusations of anti-Semitism rolling the Democratic Party or the backlash recently caused by the Democratic Minnesota Representative Alon Mahar. The Post magazine wide-ranging interview published Monday covering everything from the potential impeachment of President Donald Trump to Twitter's role in politics and the Green New Deal, but the magazine's Jim Hammond did not ask Pelosi about Omar's implication 2 weeks ago that some members of Congress had a joy or loyalty to the United States and Israel. Though her comments sparked outrage from members of both political parties, including some calls for her removal of the House of Foreign Affairs Committee, Omar did not formally apologize for them. The day after she stood by her comments, the House decided to draft a resolution condemning anti-Semitism. Despite getting delayed a day, the vote on the resolution was expected to take place last Wednesday, the same day as Hamar's interview. Explaining why he never brought it up, Omar and anti-Semitism, despite his prominence in the news cycle, him told the Daily Caller, quote, I tried to stay away from breaking news in the interview because the magazine piece wouldn't schedule to run for a few weeks after the interview took place. We have not done an interview as well ahead of publication date. Any sort of questions about breaking news would be old news by the time the piece runs. Bullshit. Absolute load of crap. You didn't want to bring it up because you knew that it looks bad on the Democratic Party. That's all it was. Don't want to talk about it because it makes you look bad. The House resolution ended up condemning all types of bigotry instead of specific focusing on anti-Semitism, passed into 407-23, with all the nays coming from the Republicans. Yeah, I get a little bit worried when you're trying to bring in new laws for anti-Semitism and stuff like that. Freedom of speech and all. Yeah. I do find it interesting. I reckon he didn't bring it up because at the end of the day, he didn't want to touch it because it's radioactive. It's bad for him. That's all it was. It's like gun control, one little step at a time. Yeah, Greg, totally agree on that one. Yeah. Start eating veganism once a day. All of a sudden, you're eating it 3 times a day. Sorry, 3 times a week. Sorry. Then it's all week. It's slipping sail. Slippery slope. Sorry. Representative Alexandria Cortez. People should be excited about losing their jobs to automation. What? Oh. This girl's batshit stupid, really. The New York Democrat Representative Alexandria Cortez said they're excited rather than fearful about the prospect of robots in the workplace at a conference in Austin, Texas on Saturday. Alexandria Cortez's comments came during a Q&A session with the South by Southwest conference at festivals, according to The Verge. A self-described Democrat socialist really worked at the crowd at the festival, calling the current state of America garbage, blasting capitalism, Ronald Reagan and the New Deal, and even political moderates. She also referred to solutions to those who fear socialism, which is promptly excited in liberal TV scientist Bill Nye, who tweeted that Alexandria Cortez gets it. Yeah. Oh, I think she does get it. Definitely. She gets what she's doing. Guys, look, at the end of the day, every time socialism, every time frigging communism or the communism is brought in, it is always the rich that keep getting richer and the poor end up starving. You know, hey everybody, you have the same. Yeah, you're right. Everybody has the same thing. Everybody has frigging nothing. There are a few people in Venezuela right now that are happen to eating, and at the end of the day, it's the rich that still manage to buy the food. It's your rich and your politicians. You go down to Venezuela, have a look at who's eating down there. It's not the poor. As the Congresswoman sees it, automation represents opportunities for people not to work, and because people are scared of not having jobs, fear of workplace robots came from deep-rooted social issues. God, she's stupid. We should be excited by automation. Yay, said no one ever. But the reason we're not excited is because we're living in society where if you don't have a job, you're left to die. And that is it. It's our core, it's our problem, insisted Alexandria Cortez. Oh my God, can we stop talking about this girl now? Like, Jesus Christ. Yay, don't have a job, so that way we can bring in universal income, which is what she wants. She's a communist. She's a communist with a pretty face that looks a bit like a human mixed with a horse. Alexandria Cortez urged the audience to think of what they could do with their time if they didn't have to work those kinds of automatic labor jobs could do for us. How would you support yourself? Universal income, right? That's what you want. We should be excited about automation because it could possibly, potentially means more time educating ourselves. So everybody's going to have a degree, which basically means the degrees are not worth the paper they're written on. Great idea. More time creating art. Trust me, I've seen the left version of art. Trust me, we don't want more of it. More time investigating and investigating the sciences. More time focused on intervention. More time going to space. More time enjoying the world we live in, she said. Nothing at all, not all creativity needs to buy the wage. Alexandria Cortez responded, repeatedly attracted the largest audience at the festival. Has also featured Democrat president candidates, according to Fox News. She reserved some measure of an eminence for capitalism, and she declared the ideology of capitalism, which comes at a cost to people and the environment, to make it irredeemable. Because we need socialism, people. That's what she wants. She is a frigging commie. A horse-faced commie. It's funny. These people always go on about having more spare time, right? Yet they're insisting that women should be in the workforce. Not staying at home, looking after kids, or anything like that, right? You want to go on about women or go on about spare time? Take the women out of the workforce. Yeah, I'm not saying do it because I want it. I'm just saying, if you're going to sit there and make that argument, then why the hell are you insisting on women going to college? Why the hell are you insisting on women going to the workforce? If it's all about spare time, you know, we can extend, investigate, and blah, 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 right? And all that sort of lovely bullshit that she wants to pump out. Why are you still encouraging people to go through and do schooling? Jesus Christ, you're stupid. Anyway. Give a mensch, they will ultimately want a mile. Very true. We were promised the Jetsons' future. I want my frigging flying car automation. Perfect idea. Yeah, Greg, exactly. That's what it is. Someone grew up watching the Jetsons way too much. AOC provides fluoride lower IQ. Oof, that's a little harsh. Elysium is in the future. Yeah, really good film, guys. If you haven't seen it, go and check out the movie Elysium, because that's exactly what they want. Too bad AOC can't speak of the House. Oh, too bad AOC can't be Speaker of the House. Yeah. I laugh at low. AOC is a walking punchline. The Orville addressed not using money, but rather the value of your skills you have to socially. Yeah, I've actually seen that episode. I was actually going to do a video on it. Yeah, guys, look, I got plans to do. So while I've got you here all now for a little bit, obviously people are asking what's going to happen with the videos. Obviously the buffering and everything for YouTube is obviously a real pain in the freaking ass. And I do thank you guys for putting up with it for now. I can't do anything to change it at the moment. I'm waiting for my internet to be upgraded. And hopefully that will fix the problem once and for all. Once that happens, the plan is quite simple. We're going to go through and we're going to upload all these videos. We're going to do the live show on Nonpartisan. Right, because that's where obviously most of the subs are. Then after that, we're going to record it as well as uploading it. We're going to privatize all of those videos that are on Nonpartisan Media. We're going to upload the full video to Nonpartisan Media Live, which would be the live channel backup sort of thing. And we're going to go through and we're going to segment the videos into small sections like what we're used to do. And we're going to upload all those to Nonpartisan Media. So you will have the big podcast like thing up on Nonpartisan Media Live. Obviously, if you guys want to watch it there. Also, if you want the smaller videos or the smaller segments, that will then obviously go through, and they will be on Nonpartisan Media. And the live stream will happen on Nonpartisan Media as well. So you'll be able to still have your full live stream if you've missed it. You'll be able to get your smaller videos, which would be great for us because obviously it allows us to put out certain titles that are obviously get people to get interested. And then also, it also means that you guys get your live show once a day as well. So yeah, that's the plan, and hopefully, seeing how time goes, we'll see how it goes. But that's sort of what I'm aiming for at the moment. So don't worry, the small videos for 5 or 10 minutes, or 10 minutes roughly, because of the algorithm. Those 10-minute videos haven't gone anywhere. They're just back on hold at the moment. Because I can't go uploading a whole bunch of videos. It just won't work because my internet's too slow for uploads, which is why it's buffering all the time. Once that internet gets upgraded, that should fix that problem, and my internet should be 10 times as fast uploading. So instead of taking an hour to do a video, it should take 10 minutes or 6 minutes, whatever it may be. So yeah, should be good, and that's the plan. So yeah. She's not she's not fugly. Sarah Jessica Parker is the horse face. Yeah, look, she's not ugly, no. She's kind of hot, and she has a lovely, bubbly personality. All I'm saying is that I want her in the kitchen more than I want her in politics. Although she does a good job of discrediting everything that she says and being a socialist and a commie, so maybe we should keep her in politics. Deborah Messing apologises for excluding trans women who don't have a vagina while celebrating International Women's Day. Oh, the mental gymnastics is amazing, isn't it? It really, really is. Actress Deborah Messing apologised for excluding trans women who don't have a vagina on International Women's Day Friday after she posted a photo celebrating the occasion with a collection of vagina-shaped cupcakes. Happy International Women's Day, powerful, beautiful and sweet, the Wild Grey Star wrote, accompanied by a photo of a vagina-themed cupcake decorating with different colours, piercings and even pubic hair. This is literally... This is mental disorder. This is really derangement. It's like, you're literally making cupcakes into vaginas. It looks like a few of them are being cream pied too while you're at it. Like, I don't know. It's just... However, Deborah Messing later realised that posting an image of a solely vaginas had excluded trans women who don't have a vagina. Because apparently that's a thing in 2019, sorry. She later added, I want to apologise to my trans sister. This photo was supposed to be light and sassy. The first thing I thought when I saw this photo was, wow, how wonderful. Each one is unique in colour and shape and size. The porn industry has perpetuated this myth of what a beautiful vagina looks like, and as a result, there are women who feel ashamed or insecure about the shape of their vulva. I love that this photo or picture says every single one is beautiful and unique, and that's powerful. Not everyone is beautiful. Trust me, I've seen some freaking ugly vaginas. I did not, however, think that because there are invincible, beautiful, and unique and powerful women don't have a vagina and should have, and this is, oh my god, this is literally hitting my brain. The mental gymnastics this woman is going through. Jesus Christ. Although many women, trans women undergo surgery to remove their penises, no, it's not many actually, it's very few, their penises and replace it with a artificial constructed vagina, which causes lots of problems, but anyway. A large number also keep their genital origins intact. Messing, meanwhile, is known for her outspoken views on the LGBT rights and representation. In May 2017, she even accepted an award for the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, GLAAD, where she pleaded with President Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka to stop her father's policy on transgender issues. You can change the lives of millions of women and children who, just by telling your dad stories about real people who are suffering, she declared. Don't allow him to make trans kids fight in court for their basic human dignity, which he's not. The only thing Trump has done is taken the trans people out of the military. Here's a hint. If you have people who have around 40-something% suicide rate, giving them a gun is not a good idea. Can't believe I have to explain that to the left. But anyway. Yeah. Message rejected. I'm curious what you wrote there now, Ashley. I'm going to check it out. Why did you retract it? Oh, it's not showing up. Oh, of course, chat's broken again. Streamlabs. Anyway, I can't see what you wrote, so curious. Anyway, the cupcakes cream filled. Yeah, I think they were. Some of them were actually, literally. I like custard. I think they changed vagina to front hole. Deborah, yeah, they did. Yeah, remember now it's the front hole, not vagina. Do you? Stupid reset. Do you lick the cupcakes or something else? No, you munch on it, Greg. You just dive in there with your face and chew on it. Make America modest again, please. Yeah, definitely. Last story for the guys. Last story for the guy. Last story for the day, guys and girls. So let's just jump into it. So, Jeb Bush super PAC hit with massive FEC fine. For accepting 1.3 million illegal donations from Chinese corporations. Oh my God, imagine my shock. The FEC, or the Federal Election Commission, hit Jeb Bush's super PAC with a $390,000 fine for illegally accepting a $1.3 million in donations from Chinese-owned corporation, the Asia American Pacific Capital, or APEC, during the 2016 presidential primary. Jeb Bush's brother, Neil Bush, sat on the board for APIC. Jeb Bush founded the PAC in January of 2015, but handed over control to the Pacific, or the Republican concert Mike Murphy, in spring of 2016. Campaign letter center CLC, a watchdog group, filed a formal complaint with the FEC in August of 2016. Citing a report from The Intercept detailing how Chinese businesses were illegally funneling money into Jeb Bush's PAC account, Right to Rise USA. The Intercept has determined, or the Intercept wrote from 2016, The Intercept has determined that a corporation owned by Chinese couple made a majority of the donations to Jeb Bush's super PAC, Right to Rise USA, and it did so after leaving detailed advice from Charles Spies, arguably the most important Republican campaign finance lawyer in American politics. The Spies memo was dated February 9, 2015. 1 month later, American Pacific International Capital, Inc., a Californian corporate owned by Jordan Tang and Chinese a married couple who were citizens of China and past citizens of Singapore, made a $1 million Right to Rise USA. PAC subsequently gave the group an additional $330,000. Its total donation of $1.3 million, making up APEC one of the Bush's super PAC's largest contributions. The FEC responded to CLC's complaint on Friday about hit Jeb Bush PAC with a massive $390,000 fine, in addition to the $550,000 in penalties levies against the APIC. look, at the end of the day, I imagine this money would have been used if he had won to basically say that to move his shopping, the manufacturing over to China. I imagine this would have been pay to play. That's my guess. Is that this would have been going through and say, hey, we'll give you all this money. If you win, you send your manufacturing over to China, which is what Australia's been doing, which is the opposite to Trump. So, yeah, kind of cool. I'm glad he got fined, even though he's a Republican. Good on him. He broke the law. Good on him. Serves him right. Apart from that, guys, obviously at the end of the day, that's basically all it is for the day. That's all the news there is. Although we have been going for, what, an hour? Hour and 15 or an hour and 20, depending on how many drop phones I get. But yeah, at the end of the day, apart from that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on any of the stories that we've covered today? Personally, yeah, it's some good news and some bad news. Yeah, it's a bit of everything. Obviously we'll do the show again tomorrow. It will be earlier. I waited off today because I was waiting to see if Satellite turned up, and also I was stuffing around Halion too, so there's that. But yeah, obviously I'll try and do it a little bit about 2 hours earlier than it was today. So obviously everybody, thanks for tuning in, thanks for showing up for that. Obviously if you want to tune into the gaming stream and talk shit and whatnot, or watch me play Halion, that basically kicks off from about 2 o'clock Australian time, AM, to about 8 AM, and then we do the show from 8 to about 9:30. So yeah. Apart from that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on any of the stuff that we covered in the subject? Let us know and have a discussion about it.